We are live. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Two Sweet Converse. We're on episode 7. Holy shnikes, folks! I am Nico. What's up, everybody?
Wildcard, what up, guys?
Steve-O here.
EJV, hashtag everybody dies.
He's still wearing the
Hashtag hit me up. Yeah.
Hashtag,
so you know,
I'm proud to be a cripple. I don't know.
Just so you guys know, we do have an NXT In Your House Takeover predictions video as well. So be sure to check that out as well on the channel, and we will have a link to that in the YouTube description as well. BJV, I know you had some thoughts before we start the show.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we start off the show with two passings this past week. We've had two guys, one performer in the wrestling industry and a guy who was an integral part in one of wrestling's best theme songs. That being, of course, Bob Kulick, who worked with Kiss, Paul Stanley, Tim Ripper Owens from Judas Priest in the past. He's worked with a lot of great bands. He also, of course, did the SpongeBob SquarePants song "Sweet Victory" from the episode Band Geeks, and he also produced. He also produced and played guitar on the Triple H's theme song "The Game," which a lot of people don't know. It was not strictly Motorhead. He also played some guitar parts on that song. And the other one I want to talk about is Danny Havoc. Danny Havoc is a guy, deathmatch wrestling. Kind of a deathmatch wrestling legend who worked with CZW in the past, retired, and then came back when Game Changer Wrestling, GCW, started up, and they started doing the ultraviolet style death matches. He's a close friend of a lot of guys, John Moxley, Joey Janela. So definitely I send my condolences to both Danny Havoc, to the family of Bob Kulick, especially his brother Bruce, who played with Kiss as well. His passing was very unexpected. Same with Danny Havoc. We send our condolences, we send our prayers, and we wish their family all the best.
Yeah, my condolences.
Yeah, likewise, condolences go out to all those affected.
Yes, we here at Two Sweet Cosplay do send our deepest sympathies and condolences. I'm not all too familiar with Danny Havoc, but you could tell by how much he was loved by people in the wrestling business. Prime example, John Moxley. Apparently, he was the one who came up with the grenade to be for Moxley's first AEW T-shirt design, which I really love, and I probably own in my collection, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then as for our deepest sympathies and condolences to both men and their family.
Very nice. So we're going to start off the first topic this week. It's the Buckle Bomb being banned now in the WWE officially. It was made announcement, or it was on news sites this weekend. Kind of close to when Nia Jax was reported to have an injury. So that's a little bit of interesting news there, and we know that Seth Rollins has used the Buckle Bomb, and we've seen 2 injuries in Steen in his what ended up being his final match ever, in his second ever WWE match, and we've also seen Finn Balor, who won the Universal Championship for the first time at SummerSlam 2016, and the day after, unfortunately, he had to relinquish the title. So, starting off, what are your guys' thoughts with the Buckle Bomb, and who'd like to start this one off? EJB?
Yeah. I'd like to start this one off. The Buckle Bomb is a cool maneuver. It looks cool. The problem with the move is, and this is something that Bully Ray has stressed a million times on Busted Open, which you can catch on Sirius XM Channel 156 Monday through Friday. He stressed that the way the person is thrown into the turnbuckle, your body, your whole body doesn't absorb the impact. Your spine absorbs the impact. And the way you're going into that turnbuckle, it could cause whiplash, it could cause spinal issues, hence Sting. Or if you're doing a buckle bomb into the barricade, if you try to prop yourself with the arms, you could, like Finn Balor, what happened to him, you can tear your shoulder, you can tear your tricep, bicep, depending on how much pressure, how much force is put on it. Do I believe the buckle bomb should be banned in a sense? Only because of the danger factor. I mean, yeah, there's more dangerous moves out there. The Canadian Destroyer, the Gringo Kill, aka the Vertebraker. I know those are some of the most dangerous moves in wrestling, but at least you can somewhat protect yourself. The buckle bomb, you have no control over where you land. That's up to your opponent. If you can brace yourself as much as you want, your spine is still taking an impact against those turnbuckles that are covered in those 3-4 inches of padding. To me, I think it should be banned not because of Nia Jax, but because of its overall history of being a move that no matter how much you do, it's still not going to be safe. That's just my opinion on that.
Who would like to share their thoughts next?
I'll go.
Or, Nico, you want to go?
I don't care. You can go ahead. I'll be quick. It doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what. I'll go. I won't be terribly long on this one here. I think E made a good point on this, is that, there's a lot of dangerous moves that are even more effective than the buckle bomb. But yes, there are ways you can protect yourself with it too. Considering that, we've had several occurrences of injuries. And for me personally, it actually, I kind of have a thing about that too, because I do work in physical therapy myself outside of the realm of wrestling. So I see my fair share of neurological conditions. And let me tell you something right now, like even spinal cord injuries, man, it's a bitch to deal with. So those kind of injuries can really leave a mark on your life, and maybe even harder to recover from, and may even cause like even permanent spinal cord damage, central nervous system disorders, things like that. So, I mean, I have a thing about that too, but that's another spiel for another time. I feel like that in terms of just the move itself, I feel like, when it comes to the person that's delivering the move and the person that's actually taking the move, there should be some form of clear communication as to, okay, I'm going to be doing this move, and I should have some kind of mental preparedness for this too. So that way I could, have myself like safeguard for the actual move when I take it. But things happen, things go a little bit fast and quick, and maybe there's a little bit of miscommunication, during the match. So, I mean, but that's the thing when it comes to an actual wrestling match, you need to have good communication, because if you don't, then somebody's going to end up being injured. And, move like that, I'm not going to fret about being like, oh, it's gone, it's not going to be in WWE anymore, or it's not going to be in wrestling anymore. I mean, because there's like more, a lot of other things you can do that doesn't require, that basically is like, I should say, like is more safe and can be more impactful than the buckle bomb itself. So, but to answer the question, should I think the buckle bomb be still banned? Yes, but I think it should be in a temporary basis, because I feel like that until there's some establishment that the move can be performed safely, it should be banned, because it could cause more harm than help.
Okay. To quickly answer this question, should the buckle bomb be banned? No, it should not. And the reason being is because you could make the argument in wrestling that every single move should be banned, because all it is it's all based on the execution on the person, by the person performing the move, and by the person taking the move. Wrestling, in its sense, is a partnership. It's a dance between the competitors. So my point is, I think it's all about who is executing the move and how it's being executed on their opponent. Prime example, we talked about Sting, and that sort of ending his career, but Sting openly admitted, hey, that was my fault. That was 100% my fault. We see that the buckle bomb is still used in other wrestling promotions. Brian Cage did it this past week on AEW Dynamite during his match. Michael Elgin still uses the move in Impact Wrestling. So to me, I don't think it's the move itself, because like I said earlier, you can make an argument that every move in professional wrestling should be or could be banned. Um, we've heard the history about the pile driver, or simple scoop slam, etc., of someone getting hurt, and especially someone who's dealt with spinal cord related injuries, like I have. Andy talked about it a little bit as he works in the medical health field. But I don't know. I'm not gonna cry over this. I don't think it's that big a deal. Um, it all depends on who is performing the move and who's taking the bump, basically. If WWE feels the need to ban it to protect their athletes, that's totally their right to do so. But I don't care. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, it's a cool looking move. Don't get me wrong. But safety first. We've seen the WWE ban moves in the past. I mean, we've seen the pile driver ban. We've seen the curb stop ban. We can go through a various list of moves that have been banned in the past, and some have even returned, including the curb stomp that Seth Rollins performs. It was very unfortunate, those situations with Finn Balor winning the first Universal Championship, being the first Universal Champion, unfortunately to relinquish it the next day. It was sad to see Steen end his last match, but accidents do happen. That's really all I can say about that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Maybe they could try to bring it back if they feel comfortable doing it again. Just they have to get the proper training in order to make sure people don't do it wrong and don't watch and injure people. But I'm not going to lose sleep over it, so I'm fine with it for now. It looks like AEW had Brian Cage use it the other day, and no reported injuries to my knowledge on that. So maybe we'll see that in other promotions for the meantime. But for now, it is what it is. For the next topic, it was from last week's Smackdown. Jeff Hardy, who has had demons in the past. Unfortunately, they're kind of turning it into a storyline. We saw the hit and run with Elias, and unfortunately, both men were taken out of the IC title tournament, and there's controversy surrounding using real life demons into storylines. So what I'd like to talk with you all is what you thought of the angle, if they should continue doing it, and if this stuff has a place in wrestling. Who would like to start this topic off?
I'll go.
Okay, Nico, go for it, man.
Can you guys hear me? Because I was muting my mic.
Yes.
Okay. I am fine with it. However, I did receive a little bit of backlash myself, saying I was fine with it. Here's why I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because every wrestling fan says, oh my God, I wish we had the Attitude Era back. Or I wish we did this, I wish we did that, etc., etc. In wrestling, you want real angles. You want these storylines that give you a little bit of realism and a little bit of believability as the viewer. So where you can just watch it and you can be like, yeah, I buy that. I actually believe, X, Y, Z, whatever. Now, would I have done this angle per se? Maybe not right now, or maybe not ever. Especially with Jeff. We all know, and we all love Jeff Hardy. And we all know his history in the past with his demons. We all have our issues to deal with in life. We've seen this done before in wrestling. We saw the WWE do it with Road Warrior Hawk in the late '90s. WCW did it with Scott Hall in '98. We saw them do it with Jeff Hardy in 2009 when he was feuding with CM Punk. Um, CM Punk even mentioned on WWE Backstage this week how he thought it wasn't the best idea um, for them to do it with Jeff. Um, now that I've had more time to think about it since last week Friday, I kind of tend to agree. Um, I appreciate them trying to give us that realism, like I said earlier. I truly do. Um, but I don't know. Maybe WWE kind of pulls back a little bit and tries to go in a different direction. However, if they run with it, I hope Jeff's okay, and hopefully it gets him to bigger things more than just the Intercontinental title picture.
Definitely agree. Who would like to take this next?
I'll go next on this one.
Go for a wild card.
All right. Storylines like these, it really depends. And plus, you got to also take into consideration is if Jeff was actually okay with being or doing this angle here too. So, I mean, as long as he was on board with it, then, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem because he's the one who okayed it. It's his life after all. But I mean, it is a little bit sensitive, but it's like Nico said. I mean, stuff like that has been done in wrestling before, and it honestly makes it a little bit more appealing to watch because I mean, if we didn't have like these real life issues like in the storylines itself, I mean, it just wouldn't make it that believable. So, but again, I'm a big proponent on if you're gonna do something like this, you have to ask the person if they're cool with it. If they decided to run with this angle without his consent, that's a problem right there. So, I mean, that's just kind of how I see it. The only thing that I am not okay with when it comes to these real life storylines, which wrestling has done before, example being with Eddie Guerrero and even Road Warrior Hawk, is when dealing with death. Especially I remember that there was an angle. I think it was with there was a promo between Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio on the episode of Smackdown where I think Randy was basically saying like, okay, basically provoking Eddie's death. So
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't too
Once,
crazy. Oh, go. I was gonna say I just wasn't crazy
no,
about that. So,
yeah,
but long story short, I'm okay with Jeff Hardy's angle with that, and because it does add some realism to the storyline itself. It makes it a little bit more intriguing. So, just as long as everybody on both parties are okay with it.
Take it away, EJV.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Andy. What Randy Orton said that promo was that Randy told Ray that Eddie ain't in heaven. He's down there in hell. That's what he said.
Yeah. See that's the thing though too. Just when I heard that too, it just I don't know. That was just bothersome there too. I just didn't really like that. I thought it just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. To me, I just thought it was kind of out of left field for a second. The storyline with Jeff Hardy. I just didn't get it at first and why they would decide to go that route. I wasn't particularly mad about it. I was just kind of confused on why they would go to a real life scenario that's kind of a little sensitive on the subject of alcoholism, like with Jeff in his past issues with intoxication, like at Victory Road, for instance, where Jeff, came to the ring completely out of his mind, inebriated, and had a 90-second match with Sting, where the whole crowd was chanting bullshit, and Sting yelled back to them, "I know." At first I was kind of like, why are they doing this? But then I realized, it took me a second to realize why they did it. And that's because, like Nico said, bringing real life storylines into this program. And that's, like you said, it was done in the Attitude Era many times. Some of it good, some of it bad. If Jeff okayed this, then I'm okay with it, I'm pretty sure he did. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. Jeff's a guy who's got pull in WWE and is able, if he wants to say, hey, I'm not comfortable doing this. I'm not comfortable doing this storyline because it's too sensitive and it involves my real life struggles with alcoholism and drugs. And, but I think.
Does he, though? I mean,
Yeah,
like, and I don't mean to cut you off there, E, but does Jeff? I know we all know Jeff's a legend. We all know he's a veteran. But does he have the same pull in the company, like say maybe a few years ago? Like say maybe 10 years ago.
it's yeah, it's a little bit. I think Jeff still has that pull in a sense. With the I think he still has pull because he's just got that legendary status within the company, personally. And does he have a large amount? I don't know, but he has more influence into what the ideas are. To me, I have no problem with it. I think it makes for a great story. Jeff's okay with it, then that's cool. I mean, how far is the story gonna last? And how effective will it be in the end? I don't know. It's up to interpretation as we continue on the weeks, but I'm okay with it.
I think they pull the plug on Friday on the story. I don't want them to. I really don't. I kind of want to see them play this out because maybe I'm being an optimist here. I think Jeff is just gonna take this and just do some killer good shit because Jeff Hardy, if you just let him be him and you let him be creative, he's one of the most creative minds in the business ever, at least out of my generation. Um, I don't think maybe he's getting that much respect like he used to because of his demons. If you just let Jeff Hardy be Jeff Hardy with all this, I think Jeff will be fine. Maybe it's me being an optimist, but that's just my take on things.
All right, so here's my take on this, guys. So it was a very interesting start to SmackDown. I mean, a DUI angle on a show that's supposed to be family friendly, PG. I mean, not to say that stuff doesn't happen in family friendly programs, but it was a little off color for today's WWE climate. But I thought it was very interesting. I mean,
Hey,
but
it got everybody talking. It got everybody talking.
absolutely, and that's what I liked about it. I'm like, okay, this is interesting, and we're seeing a new dynamic to the IC title tournament, which in the finals we're going to see AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, which that's cool to me. But anyways, getting a little back onto topic, it was interesting. I'm like, okay, what's going on? My prediction was originally going to be that Sheamus, and this very well could happen, or they could just kill it flat in the water. That Sheamus kind of intoxicated Jeff somehow. I don't know how he would have got around to it. Maybe spiked his drink, or maybe he did whatever you will. But that's ultimately my prediction. What's going on? I thought it was an interesting angle. I'm hoping they don't have it be like, oh, Jeff has relapsed and has gone back to his bad ways, because they kind of did that build up to Jeff returning with those storylines, how he has had demons in the past, but he's overcome them and has returned to the WWE. So, I mean, I think that'd be kind of bogus just to have him kind of just do it on his own will. I don't think, I mean, I know we've had storylines in the Attitude Era. Hawk, of course, Scott Hall in WCW. I overall didn't like how those ended up playing out. I did like that Kurt Angle, when he was feuding with Eddie, kind of mentioned Eddie's demons and how he's not a worthy champion and things like that. Like, if you do that stuff and it's approved by the wrestlers involved, I think it's kind of fun. But yeah, you got to be careful, especially with Victory Road being in the past and all that. But I do like realism to storylines. I'm hoping this was, of Jeff's approval. But yeah, kind of just getting to the conclusion of what I'm trying to say here is, one thing I didn't like, though, is that Jeff returned the same night he got taken into question by the police officers. I mean, it's a 2-hour program, yet he's back before all that. I'm like, I don't think that interrogation would take less than 2 hours to get this done. I think that was a little ridiculous. I know it's wrestling, but I'm sorry, that's just stupid. But
That's wrestling time right there.
Yeah, WWE fucked that up royally. In more ways than one. Not just to mention your what you noted there, Stevo, about Jeff actually coming back, because I thought that too. I was like, oh man, maybe they got peer pressured because of how everyone was reacting on social media. And they're like, just put Jeff on TV and just show that he's okay. Um, Another thing that I thought was hilarious, my boy CM Punk spotted this, when the cop opened the car door, the visor freaking, the thing just fell out of the visor, um, right when he sees the bottle of alcohol, and it hits the cop in the top of the head, and then he like grabbed it. He's like, "Oh, Jeff Hardy, where's Jeff Hardy?" And like it was almost like one of those ding moments. And then the stupid cop smells the bottle of open alcohol, because that's what every cop does, right? They smell it and they secretly take a swig when no one's looking, right? I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ. Then cop doesn't read Jeff his rights. They just cuff his ass, which I thought was stupid, because like, wait a minute, maybe that's just me being a psych major and having to do some stuff with law enforcement classes. I was like, wait a minute, they didn't even read him his rights. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
I was gonna say, I don't even think they know the Miranda rights there.
Yeah, that's all just, it was all ridiculous there. I mean, it was off to a good start, but they kind of just did the in between, and then of course Jeff coming out at the end of the show, just dumb. But I digress. We'll see how it plays out on Friday Night Smackdown, which I think when we post this will be airing shortly after. So we'll see how it plays out. Maybe we could revisit or not. I don't know. But anywho, we're also going on to SmackDown. We have another topic to talk about. Matt Riddle wrestled his last match in NXT last Wednesday, and it was with Timothy Thatcher in a steel cage match refereed by Kurt Angle. Kurt last Friday on SmackDown announced that Matt is officially coming to the SmackDown roster amidst the hype that on social media news that Matt Riddle was coming to the main roster. So that being said, what are you guys' thoughts of Matt Riddle coming to the main roster? Is he gonna flourish, or is he gonna go the way of a Bo Dallas or No Way Jose, or whoever you will?
I'll go first here.
All right, wildcard.
It's not gonna take long. All I can say is, bro. That was the, when you say, every time you say Matt Riddle, it's always bro. Yeah. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, I don't think he's gonna go the route of a Bo Dallas, though. But because he's just way too talented. I mean, this dude has like MMA background. He can wrestle. He's definitely built up a good wrestling resume, and I don't see any reason why he shouldn't succeed, especially on SmackDown, because it just seems like it's a perfect fit for him over there. I see him definitely, maybe potentially a run at a possible Intercontinental Championship, maybe a possible United States Championship. Kind of hard to say whether or not he will be like a top level guy, but I can see him as a very high level mid carder. Because I mean, the guy can definitely go. I can't wait to see potential matches he may have with guys like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, that's going to be really fun to see him on the Blue brand. So yeah, I'm really excited for the original Bro to be on SmackDown.
EJV, how about you, man? Would you like to share your thoughts?
Bro. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Matt Riddle, even before his role in WWE. I was a fan of his on the UFC. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. I know of his MMA background. I know how dangerous of a guy he truly is outside of the ring. But inside the ring, he's that, last days ago, laid back, I'll be honest, pothead type of attitude is what I love about Matt Riddle. He's just so laid back. The only time he takes it serious is when he's in the ring, a la an Orange Cassidy almost, but just even more lethal. I think it's gonna be cool. I think he's gonna really flourish. I think he's really gonna stamp his name in with SmackDown. He's got a lot, like I said, got a lot of potential dream matches. Like Andy said, the most intrigued I want to see is him and Shinsuke Nakamura, because both have legitimate MMA backgrounds. Both can strike. Both can fly if they want to. Both are just pure athletes. And to me, I think they could brawl and really grapple and show what a true technical wrestling match could be with strikes. And your name is good when you face Katsuyori Shibata in England in front of a sold out house. That's how you know you are definitely a true athlete and a true pro wrestler when you get to face one of the greatest of all time, is Shibata. So, but for me, I think Matt Riddle's a great catch for SmackDown. Props to the main roster for finally bringing up the true original bro.
Nico, go for it, man.
Bro. Despite some of Matt Riddle's backstage stuff with his opinion on guys like Goldberg and Lesnar, granted, I know, yes, because I'm a huge Goldberg fan. I've been that way since I was a kid, always will be. The way he went about pushing pushing for those matches, granted, I don't think Matt meant it maliciously, if I can say that properly. I don't think he meant any harm by it. I just think that's the type of dude that Matt Riddle is. But I love Matt Riddle. I'm a fan of his work. Like Ezra and Andy both said, they both beat me to it. Damn it, I hate the both of you. But yeah, I want to see Matt Riddle versus fuck you, Andy. I want to see Matt Riddle versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I want to see Matt Riddle versus Daniel Bryan. Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles. I can kind of see, because AJ is being a heel right now, I can kind of see him being like maybe Matt Riddle's first legit feud to kind of welcome him in, because Matt Riddle is a very laid back and chill dude, and AJ, while AJ's a real good guy in and out of the ring, I could see him being that pit bull, because he's doing the heel thing right now to counteract Matt Riddle's very chill and laid back persona. So I'm looking forward to seeing Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles, Matt Riddle versus Daniel Bryan, Matt Riddle versus Shinsuke Nakamura. They're all going to be good matches. If you can give me 15 to 20 minutes with any one of those three guys that I mentioned, bell to bell, with Matt Riddle, I think it'd be great stuff. Plus, because he's on SmackDown, maybe that'll get him to do, WWE backstage. They can have him talk with CM Punk. They can have him talk with Booker T, since they both have candid opinions of the original bro, Matt Riddle. But yeah, I'm excited.
Very nice. And echoing you guys, I'm very excited as well for Matt Riddle. I've always thought he's put on some great matches in NXT. I'm kind of surprised he never held the North American Championship, and the only title he did go on to win in NXT was the Tag Team Championship with Pete Dunne. But unfortunately, with what's going on in the world, Pete can't be with the WWE in the United States, unfortunately. So I could kind of see why they're like, okay, let's just get him to the main roster sooner rather than later. But yeah, lots of great feuds await him on the Land of Opportunity SmackDown. There's Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles now. God, yeah, they're going to have a barn burner, if you will. Shinsuke Nakamura. Most likely.
I was going to say, it not a barn burner, but a bro burner. Bro.
Hey, Steve, there is one other name I forgot to add to that. Drew Gulak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, be careful when you're talking about burning something with Matt Riddle, all right? I mean, just be careful. Just be careful.
That is one thing I wanted to add really quick. Not to get too into it, but can you picture if they had him aligned with this whole Jeff Hardy angle? Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The stoner accidentally crashed into the recovering alcoholic. Jesus.
Yeah. No. Then the Attitude Era is officially back. That happened.
I swear to you.
Sorry, bro.
I'm not sure how far he'll go. He's not gonna be. I can't see him being mistreated like too poorly. Like, I think we could see an IC or US title down the line for him, and maybe another tag title run. World or Universal Champion, to be determined. I do think he should have a match against Brock Lesnar down the line. I mean, if they put frickin' Ricochet just to have him squashed, they should do this. Let's see two MMA guys. They haven't done him and Lashley yet, which I think is ridiculous on its own, but different topic. But that being said, I'm looking forward to Matt Riddle. He's most likely going to start a feud with either Dolph Ziggler, maybe Baron Corbin as he arrives on SmackDown. That's my ultimate guess. We'll find out later on SmackDown when it airs. But I'm looking forward to the bro coming to SmackDown Live. So now, that being said, we're going to get to our next segment. It is the Cosplayer of the Week, a very fun, awesome segment, and it's actually with a friend of ours from the page. I know me and Wildcard know him pretty well. It's Brandon Travis. He is our Cosplayer of the Week, and he has been to quite a few WWE Cosplay Day photo shoots at Anime Central with us, and he's had wrestling cosplays for some time. With that being said, who would like to start this one off on the second bullet point?
Second bullet, I'll take it from here. Okay. So Brandon, he's definitely a good brother to us too. He's got some amazing cosplays. But his first convention was Anime Central in 2010, and his first cosplay was, coincidentally enough, in 2011 as Zack Ryder, broski. Yeah.
Take care, spike your hair.
Woo, 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 you know it.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll go ahead and take the next one.
All right.
Brandon started getting into wrestling around 2004, 2005. Pretty good years to start. Big time in the wrestling world there. His favorite wrestlers are Dusty Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, The Ultimate Warrior, and my all-time favorite, The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll get into his favorite cosplays. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this thing just so I can get them right. His signature cosplays are Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, or the leader of the cult leader Bray Wyatt. Angel does from. Okay, these other ones are non-wrestling related that I can.
Yeah.
Really
So I think
it's okay. I'd like to chime in on one of them, because I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, you go ahead, because
I can help you out with that there, man. So it's Angel Dust from Has Been Hotel and King Dice, the main villain of the video game Cuphead. I personally have seen him in both of those cosplays, and it is flawless. So it's very good.
Yep.
And I want to say that Cuphead is a great game. It is hard as hell. But if you like games like Contra, Metal Slug, definitely check it out. Beautiful animation.
That's an annoying game. Yeah, but the fact that the King, he does a really good King Dice though. I really do like it though.
Absolutely. But yeah, check it out if you like those kind of games as well. But yeah, so even though Brandon's even though Brandon does do cosplays, he's also started gaming videos as well. So if you like, Let's Play videos, go check out his YouTube channel, which is going to be in the link descriptions in the video package we're going to show in a little bit. And he also does convention vlogs when he attends, and you can see some of his skits on his YouTube channel. So let's have a quick look at it, and then we'll go on to the next topics. So come check it out. It's good stuff. are back. That was Brandon. Very awesome stuff. Please be sure to check out his YouTube channel as well as his Twitter and Instagram as provided in the links. Now, that being said, if you wish to be featured as Cosplayer of the Week on a future episode of Too Sweet Converse, or even just have your photo shared on our page, please send us a message on our Facebook page at Too Sweet Cosplay. Now, we're entering the final segment, kind of a developing angle. I mean, it's been going on kind of for a while, but we just reached the conclusion of last night's NXT with Drake Maverick now staying with the company. So if you didn't catch last night's NXT, or if you did, you know that Phantasma has won the Cruiserweight tournament and is your new NXT Cruiserweight champion. However, Triple H pulled out a nice surprise by having it be announced that Drake Maverick would be signing a new contract and staying with the company after his release from, I believe it was 2 months ago now, with 20 plus superstars and personalities. So what I'd like for us all to talk about in this final segment here is, what are your thoughts of Drake staying? Do you think this might have been an angle all along? Do you think this might have been something that shouldn't, use like reality of the storyline, kind of like we've been talking with Jeff Hardy and his intoxication angle? And yeah, just go from there. Who would like to state their thoughts to start it off?
I'll go.
All right, brother Nico, go for it.
We talk about in wrestling. I mentioned it earlier with the Jeff Hardy angle. We want that realism. We want those stories in wrestling, no matter who the talent is, whether you like a wrestler, whether you don't. We want that story where they grab your attention. And Bully Ray says it best. Busted Open. It's not about it's not about going over. It's about getting over.
Yep, you don't have to go over to get over.
Yeah, there you go. Drake Maverick immediately got over when he cut, whether it was scripted, whether they said, hey, we're going to release you, but then we're going to use this for the tournament to crown a new Cruiserweight champion. Who cares? I mean, it's unfortunate that the other people got, released. No one should ever have to lose their job, because losing a job is how you support your family. But in the sense that, they used this for a storyline so Drake Maverick could keep his job, who the heck knows? I mean, they gave the man an opportunity, and he ran with it full throttle, and he got everyone behind him, whether it was with the promo that he cut when he first got released, and you saw the real-life emotion, and you felt the real-life emotion in his words, and you saw it on his face. It drew you in, and it made you want to root for him. I myself chose to watch the main event of NXT live last night instead of the main event of AEW Dynamite. Granted, I had both NXT and AEW Dynamite recording on my DVR, and I know I can rewatch NXT the next day on the WWE Network, but I wanted to see the match between El Phantasma and Drake Maverick happen live, because I wanted to see what was going to happen. I was invested, and I felt the emotion in every single move. I felt the emotion of what was going on in Mauro Ranallo's voice as he was calling the match. The same with Beth Phoenix. I felt it in the members of the NXT universe, because I saw that they let in some fans and not just wrestlers that were in the crowd during the match, and you could feel that, and you're like, holy crap, like he didn't get it done, but hey, you know what, if that was his last match in NXT, he went out and he freaking killed it, and he did an amazing job, which, if anything, Drake Maverick was the person who got that entire tournament over. He was the one guy that got you invested in that entire tournament. Not taking anything away from any of the other participants, not taking anything away from El Phantasma. I think he'll be revealed as the leader of the masked luchadors that are abducting, everybody in NXT. That's just me, but I loved it. And then you think, okay, Drake's leaving, but you know what? He goes out with his dignity, and then Triple H shows up with an NXT contract. And for those of you saying, oh my God, this was so planned because look how quick Drake Maverick signed, the contract. Shut up. Because, I mean, shit, if someone is giving you a fucking contract, sorry for cursing, but if you're given a damn contract, you're going to sign that shit quick fast. Because it's about making that money and doing a job. So, I mean, shit, I'm super happy for Drake Maverick. He's a good dude. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him, but from the people that I know in the wrestling business, from what you see, how the wrestlers are reacting on social media, there isn't really a guy that's respected in the business that has nothing bad to say about Drake Maverick. So, good for him.
Who would like to discuss this next?
Actually, E, why don't you take the ball on this one next? I'll go last.
Go for it, EJB.
All right. First of all, Nico, I will give you a swearing pass on this one. I'll give you like Danhausen, a swearing pass. It's very nice, very evil. But anyways, Drake Maverick, the whole story involving Drake Maverick, I thought was perfectly, even if it was a storyline, whether it wasn't, that's up to interpretation. We don't know all the facts. To me, I'm going to go with that, is that he legitimately was on the chopping block. And this was probably what propelled him forward to getting this contract was the fan reaction over the past couple weeks on how the fans online on social media and everywhere else got behind Drake and how they pushed him forward even through this tough time, and I believe Triple H saw something in Drake. They saw that he's just not a comedy bit, that he's just not a manager who's going to get, told this and that or get his ass whipped every week. He is a legitimate competitor. And we've known that. Ever since he was first debuted at Rockstar Spud during the TNA Gut Check years ago, we knew that he was a legitimate professional wrestler, a legitimate competitor who could win championships. He was just never given the opportunity. And to be this tournament was not only his way to, get his eyes open whether he was staying with the company or to get people's eyes open whether he's staying with the company or not, but to also to show the world that he is a legitimate performer in this business to people who may doubt him. And I think that was part of the reason why Triple H gave him the contract. I think it was a legitimate moment there where he did sign that contract. I don't think he had any clue that he was even staying with the company. Even if it was, here's the question I ask you guys, and I asked everybody. Did you buy into it? Did you believe it? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's the point.
To go off your point, I don't think he did know that was gonna happen. I hope that's the case, but I don't think he did because, like I said earlier, he signed that contract quick fast. I mean, like there was no hesitation. There was no like, boss, are you serious type of deal. It was like, what? Grab
legitimate. Yeah, it was legit. It was legitimate shock.
One quick thing I do want to point out is that I guess my understanding is that WWE has been offering not all, but some of their released talents like an opportunity to come back. Kurt Angle being one of them to be a manager for Matt Riddle, but he has not signed that. However, he has been on WWE TV since, but there's allegedly a thing going on. But I'll let you continue, AGV, and then I'll talk about it a little more when it's my turn. But carry on, my friend.
Sure, no problem, Steve. Thank you for the extra info on that. But yeah, the thing is that doesn't matter if it was a legitimate thing or whether if it was a storyline. We bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. That is the point. That's what Bully Ray stressed. It doesn't matter if it's a storyline or if it's legitimate. We bought into it as fans. We were emotionally invested in it, and that's what makes this so great for us as fans. Is we got emotionally invested. We were behind Drake the whole way, and that's what a storyline, a match, of any program should be. You should be emotionally invested to the point where you want to cheer or you want to boo, and that's missing from wrestling nowadays. we are not as emotionally invested as we used to be because of social media, because of everything being so transparent. But this proved that that magic is still there, and I'm glad to see that. Congrats to Drake Maverick, and I hope he has a successful career in NXT.
Very nice. Wild card. What's your thoughts on this? And then we'll get to mine.
You guys made some very good points, about Drake Maverick. But here's the thing. For me as a fan, I am very partial to those who are the smaller wrestlers, the Rey Mysterios of the world, any wrestler that is basically under 6 foot, because being a smaller guy myself, only 5'5", and being a fan of essentially a world of giants, where you got like guys like 300-pound monsters, and seeing guys like Drake Maverick be a part of that world, whether it's through Impact Wrestling or the Indies or even in WWE, it's really nice to see that because, for a guy like him, it's very difficult to succeed in professional wrestling of that size. I mean, I think, the fact that, he put a lot of, heart into his craft, especially during his time in Impact as Rockstar Spud, even during his WWE days, prior to signing his new contract. So seeing him have his moment, because I kind of consider that his moment at the moment, coming close to winning the Cruiserweight title, was something that I was really drawn into, and it was very just awe-inspiring just to see him just come essentially from the ashes and just basically fight for his life, really. I mean, granted, there was a lot of predetermination in his matches, of course. And, maybe he did know something prior to the match itself that he was going to get a contract. But again, like you guys said, who cares? I mean, because this was something that the fans really got into and they really were behind, and to top it all off, he actually did wrestle his ass off during the tournament. I mean, he put on, I didn't see the first couple of matches, I only saw clips, but from what I saw from yesterday's match in his for the Cruiserweight title, he really put his heart out there, and it's that guts and that grit, and that's what essentially, to me, earned him a contract. And the fact that Triple H recognized that, he recognized talent and heart over size. I mean, that's just saying something about this new generation that we're living in right now. I mean, and that's just it right there. I mean, we're living in a new generation where it's not always going to be about the big man. It's going to be about the athleticism. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how small you are. I mean, as long as you have the grit and you have the talent, you have the passion, you're going to succeed in this business. And that's what Drake Maverick proved last night.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just to get to my thoughts on Drake Maverick. I've been a fan of him. I did enjoy his run as Rockstar Spud in TNA. I thought it was a little goofy at first, but that's what it is. So I enjoyed that. Wasn't big on him being the manager of AOP, but I did love his little feud with R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. Absolutely hilarious. And really quick, I have met Drake. Very friendly guy. Met him in New Orleans when I went for WrestleMania 34. Very friendly guy. Let me get a photo with him. But cutting to the chase, this whole tournament thing was a little weird. Like, I mean, we all saw the tearful video of Drake just like kind of pouring his heart out at him. I mean, I'd say you're a monster if you didn't cry at that video too. No, I'm just playing, but no, it was a very emotional video. You could tell he was very upset at the possibility of losing his job. I did think, like, at first that, okay, I'm not sure if this is a storyline, if they're going to let him just, get eliminated in the first round of the tournament, but little did I realize it was a round robin tournament, so he had to face the other competitors in the tournament as well. But yeah, he lost his first match, won 2 others, and made it to the finals. that's where I kind of was like, okay, I think that something's going on here. Maybe it was the video, maybe it was something else, but the WWE, I'll be very surprised if the WWE is keeping him. And if you watched Impact Wrestling, I didn't, but I have seen the promo. Like, they're hyping up some former WWE talents coming to Impact Wrestling soon, and they actually had a video clip of Rockstar Spud. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, but I don't think it's or Maverick in this case. I think it's got.
I mean, it clearly isn't now. I think they're kind of throwing a curveball. Like, oh, it's probably gonna be It could be Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, as long as it's not Gallows and Anderson, I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like it to be Gallows and Anderson, because then that means there's a possibility of them showing up at a Warrior Wrestling show in the near future, because Impact Wrestling does have that partnership with Warrior Wrestling, which is one of the local promotions here in the Chicagoland area. So that would be cool, but I mean, I don't really watch Impact Wrestling that much. There's nothing about it that is exciting to me. I mean, what they did with Tessa Blanchard was cool. Putting the world title on her and her back to that. But due to this pandemic, she's not come back to the States because she lives in Mexico right now. So there isn't really anything right now with Impact Wrestling that is making me want to tune in. Granted, I don't even have Access TV, but I don't even look to watch the results online the next day.
The only reason I mentioned Impact was just because of that part. Maybe we could explore who it will be in a future video to be determined.
Yeah.
No, I was like, when I saw that clip, I thought, oh, maybe for a quick second that maybe Spud would be coming back to Impact Wrestling, but obviously, just with like what happened last night, no, not at all, not happening. But anyways, just cutting to the chase, at some point of the tournament, I think that they did reach an agreement, just because they're reaching out to former talent. They did reach an agreement with Drake Maverick, and just they were going to do this conclusion. It might have been middle of the tournament, might have been a few days before they're going to film the next episode of NXT. I don't know. That's to be determined. As far as using a storyline to get Drake Maverick over during this whole, release thing, I'm not personally too upset, but then again, I'm not someone who works for the industry. I could see some people who were released kind of like take that as something vengeful, or just kicking a man while they're down, if you will. But I mean, that's between them and the WWE and not me. But congratulations to Drake Maverick for staying with the company and being part of the NXT brand. I hope he does very well, and wish him the best of success. I'm happy he's still with the company. But yeah,
that is it. Dynamic Drake Maverick.
Oh yeah. But that is the end of our show for this week. I thank you all for watching. We all thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to share your thoughts on all the situations we have talked about, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you have any constructive feedback on what could be improved, please let us know.
Yeah, especially when you have to deal with our bullshittery there.
Bullshittery?
Yes.
If you look up the word bullshittery in the dictionary, you see a picture of the floor.
If it's not a word, I just made it up on the spot there.
Yeah, of course we make up stupid words like that.
Yes.
Then again, with us blockheads, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you guys.
But one thing I can guarantee about this podcast, though.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. Be sure to follow us at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, in addition to our lovely YouTube channel. So,
if you're a cosplayer too, send us your stuff, or let us know if you want to be featured on a future episode, and we'll gladly be able to feature you there.
Absolutely.
Yep, and if you guys got any ideas for any topics in the future you'd like us to cover, please hit us up on our Facebook. We'd love to hear you guys. Love to hear your guys' opinions on the show, any topics you want us to discuss, any improvements, please send it our way.
We're all ears.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone.
Y'all
Have
are
a great
funny.
weekend.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Takeover.
Peace.
Later.
Sweet.